Hi, it's Will Crockett here, and this is a set of instructions for the eCardPRO design number 1. I'm going to walk you through step by step what is included in the eKit that you download on ShootSmarter.com, as well as how you can get your source files ready to go to make a really cool eCard. Now, eCard is not only a terrific marketing tool for photographers to use to show others their skills, but it's also a product. That's right. This is a product that you're going to be able to show as well as sell, make for your clients. And I'll show you some terrific examples in this video. But first, you want to see my eCard? Here's what I do. I use an iPhone 5, and in my contacts where I have my stuff, I keep the link that goes right to my eCardPRO. And it's going to load up no matter if I'm connected to Wi-Fi or just 3G, 4G. And actually, right now, I've turned off the Wi-Fi. So this is operating just under the cell network. And I want you to show you how cool it plays. There you go. Hi, Will Crockett here. I'm a Chicago-based commercial hybrid photographer that travels the globe. We specialize in photo, video, audio, graphics, whatever it takes to maximize a marketing message that goes through today's new media portals. We work with commercial, corporate, advertising, industrial, as well as political and educational companies, big and small. We'd love to put together something for you. Isn't that fun? And then look at the end when that video is done playing. Look at all these options. All of that is under your control as the photographer. Now, the delivery method, the actual platform that delivers that video is a piece called eCardPRO.net. And that is a service that just delivers the video because, as you've probably already found out, trying to give clients a high-quality video file, right? They're big. Clients don't know what to do with them. They don't know how to install them into different devices. So what eCardPRO.net does is it uploads your beautiful video and converts it to a small URL that, in fact, you as a photographer can customize. Sweet stuff, right? Well, let me show you what's inside the first kit. So if you'd like to make that eCardPRO, it works off a template. And a template is designed to trigger the automatic editing process because you don't want to sit down in front of Premiere or Final Cut and try to make 50 of those. Say you sell real estate agents. I'll show you some cool real estate agent stuff here. If you sell 50, 60, 70 real estate agents, you really don't want to sit down and edit all those by hand. You want to have an automated editing system. That's exactly what we want to do. We believe that hybrid photography, as we see it, is photographers starting with a template and a spec sheet of guidelines, and I'll show you one of those too. Then, as we decide that's the product we want to make from that eTemplate, we're just going to shoot into that template. I call it working into a templatized environment. That if I know that I need to shoot this many photos and this many pieces of video and add this much text in order to make an eCard for a customer, that's all I shoot. I collect up all that data, and that's what I send off, and that's what I sell. You'll find out it's a little different, right? It's a little backwards than what we're used to doing as photographers because we're not going to create in the computer at all. The computer is just a tool to produce that really cool eCard. So let's take a look at what we've got inside the first eKit that contains templates and more. Take a look. This is going to have all the stuff you need. We're going to open this folder up, and this is what you'll download from ShootSmarter.com. You'll notice up on top, we've got the eCardPRO D01, that means Design 01, spec sheet.rtf, that means it's a rich text file. Underneath, we've got our templates. Here we've got samples, and here we've got source files. Let's go ahead and open up that spec sheet, and I'll give you a little look on what's inside there. The spec sheet is a way for us to, well, first of all, it's going to define the terms. So if you'd like to know the difference between an eProduct and an eTemplate, and what does auto edit mean, and what's a hybrid photographer, you'll see that there's lots of info there. And there's links for you to go to get more info. And by the way, we've got some really terrific tutorials. Take a look at these. These are going to be at ShootSmarter.com, and then click on the free learning videos. Well, let's scroll back to our spec sheet, and you'll see what's in this kit. This eKit actually has 3 different versions for you. There's version A, B, and C. And I'll explain the little differences to it, but no extra charge. Those 3 different templates are available for you to use as many times as you want. That's the cool part about the eKits. When we take a look at the different samples and the templates, you'll see that they're split off A, B, and C. Let me show you the difference. If we go to Template A and we open that up, you'll see that there is a template file. See it? That's ECP, eCardPRO, D01, that's design, A means it's version A, and PSH means it's a Pro Show file. And that's the language that we use. Pro Show Producer is the very friendly and very powerful engine that a lot of photographers use on their PCs to make eProducts. Well, what we've done is we've bought a special license from the folks at Pro Show that allows us to edit their templates and make some changes and actually add some things that aren't in Pro Show Producer. Well, what it allows us to do is make Pro Show Producer templates that if you want to convert using Pro Show Producer, go right ahead. It'll be a little slower than our version, of course, but instead, we think photographers should use a lab, right? We believe that photographers that sell prints should use a pro lab to make prints. Of course, you can print yourself if you want to too, but we think it's always best to use a pro lab. Well, we also think that pro labs will be soon adopting hybrid e-products in part of their product offerings and workflow. Well, we want to be able to send off to a lab. In fact, we've got a couple of hybrid labs that we use, and they work terrific. Let's take a look some more at what's inside that eKit. Here's eTemplate version B, and here's version C. And let's take a look at the sample, shall we? Here is eCard A. Let's take a quick look.
Hi, I'm Joe Smithberger with Smithberger Photography, Inc. Smithberger Photography specializes in creating engaging still and moving images to help promote your company's products and services. We can help you get your message out there with our unique hybrid imaging approach.
And there's the end. That's just a video file, right? That's what an eCardPRO is. It's a video file that contains photo and video and audio and graphics and a little bit of magic, I think, there too. So that's version A, and you'll notice that when it changed from picture to picture, it has a little click sound, a little sound effect that sounds like a camera clicking. Well, version B is the same editing decisions as A, but it just doesn't have that sound effect. Here, let me play another one for you. Hi, I'm Will Crockett. I'm a commercial hybrid photographer. Using photo, video, audio, graphics, and all new media portals, we sculpt the perfect message for your product or service. So no sound effect there. It's the same thing, right? The same timing, everything else. And of course, I use the handsome filter because version B, the sample guy, is much more handsome than version A, but that goes without saying, I'm sure. Okay, version C. Version C is different, and version C's got a little more flexibility for you. Let me show you a great sample of version C.
Welcome to Huntington. How may I help you? I'm Colleen Chrisman. I'm part of the commercial lending team, and I'm here to do the right thing for you. Just ask.
You'll notice it says company logo down there. We did not get permission to use that particular bank's logo. That's okay. The bank logo has to go in there, and of course logos are going to be PNGs, so they'll be transparent. Now, inside the kit here, you're going to find sample source files so that you'll know what you need to upload to movewa.com, the hybrid lab that we like, or process yourself, of course. What do those source files look like? What does that video look like? What's that photo look like? Great. First thing, let's go to the spec sheet and we'll learn about what the details are. Let's take a look. On the top of page 2 on the spec sheet, it says, well, here's version A and it's design 1, right? Version B is the same without sound effects. And version C is slightly modified. Now, the specs for each one of the files are pretty clear here. When you're talking about photos, you want to be able to submit a photo that's 2,000 pixels wide on the short side, right? So you can have it larger than that if you want to, but don't have it a lot smaller than that. That's going to give you the best possible quality. You also want to work in that 16:9 aspect ratio. Now, graphics are going to have to be 1,100 pixels tall on their short side, and they're also 16:9 aspect ratio. And video can be either 1080 or 720. We prefer P over I, the progressive, instead of the I. And it needs to be in either MOV format or M4V format, but it always is best to use the H.264 compression codec, which is by far the most popular one. So if you're using iMovie or one of the Windows softwares, or if you're using Final Cut or Lightroom, for instance, you have the ability to use a certain compression formula called a codec. And if you have a choice, please choose the H.264. All that video is going to need to be in the 16:9 aspect ratio and no vertical video. I know it's kind of creative, but it's not going to work for this piece. Next, you're going to have to input some text, right? You saw the people's names and their phone numbers. Well, that's going to go in not so much here in your source files, but as you upload that to your hybrid lab, they're going to ask you for text input 1, text input 2, text input 3, text input 4. And on the spec sheet, it just gives you a little heads up. This way, you can follow the spec sheet when you shoot this first job for your customer, and you know exactly what you need to get. In fact, I suggest using an iPad to ask your customer if they would mind keying in the data. That way, it's spelled exactly the way it needs to be. We find that to speed up the process a little bit too. Let's take a look at some more. You'll see text input 2 is the URL, right? That's going to be the website name that's going to pop over the graphic. And of course, photo files. Photo files are going to need to be submitted in JPEG. Now, these two photos that you're going to need to submit for this particular eCard are both square. Now, you will notice too that we've chosen to have these in black and white. Now, it's totally up to you. You can have them black and white or you can have them color, but these we think on that background look really nice as black and white. And for the video, these need to be submitted video with audio that has synced speech. The first video needs to be 3 seconds long, and the second video needs to be 9 seconds long. It's very important that you have that length trimmed out. What we typically do is after we shoot them, we bring them into Lightroom 4 that has a really nice little trimmer that allows us to trim them to exactly the right time. I put a little bit of space in the front and a little bit of space in the back, and I'm going to go over some of those for you too, okay? Next, we've got the graphics. Graphic 01 is going to be the screenshot of the web page. In fact, let's go dig up some of those, shall we? Let's go into Source Files A, the one for Joe Smithberger. Here's all the files. Now, we talked about graphics. Here's Graphic 1. Graphic 1 is a screenshot of Joe's website that is in the 16:9 aspect ratio, and it's at least 1100 pixels tall. Graphic 2 is going to be a sample photograph that's in the 16:9 aspect ratio, and that will be put in the end of the closing sequence. Graphic 3 is going to be another sample image for Joe. And graphic number 4, also a sample image. Graphic 5 is going to be the background that Joe's going to use. Then, of course, you have logo1.png, and of course, it appears like it has a white background here, but that's actually a transparent background. And if you want to get a little fancy with a little glow or anything, you can go ahead and do that. Once again, just make sure you send the lab a nice big file, right? Bigger the better. These files are ones that are just used by the template. This is the lower third.mov, and that's green screen technology, right? Everything that's green here is going to be taken out, and the little graphics on the bottom, that's going to hold the URL. That's all nice. Music we have license for. There's music with no sound effects, music for sound effects. That would be for template B. And here's photo1.jpg. There's Joe's very nice shot, by the way. And another one there. And here are the video files. So here's video 1.
Hi, I'm Joe Smithberger with Smithberger Photography, Inc.
Done, 3 seconds long. Notice that it started with a pause. Joe spoke right into the camera. He stayed off to that side because there's going to be graphics popping off to that side. This is why we include the sample source files so that you get a chance to look at each one of those and realize, oh, I need to set up my shot so it looks like this. Well, you don't have to, of course. You can do whatever you want to, but changing the way the template edits your source files is a big deal. You can have your lab do it, or if you're really good in ProShow Producer, you can do it yourself, but you're best off working in that templatized environment, figuring out what the template is and then producing files that are perfect for that template. Let's take a look at the second video.
Smithberger Photography specializes in creating engaging still and moving images to help promote your company's products and services. We can help you get your message out there with our unique hybrid imaging approach.
Notice it's kind of serious and straightforward. Joe's a professional commercial shooter based out of Cleveland area. And that's 9 seconds long. That clip is 9 seconds long. It starts with a pause, gets right to where he wants it to be, has nice level audio. It's very watchable. And then it pauses, and then the clip closes. So as long as you've got your 3-second and your 9-second clip, you're good to go. Now, if you're worried about coaching people on, say, your customers that come in that want to be able to do this, it's okay. It's going to take a little while, and I suggest not using a script or a teleprompter, but asking them to memorize what they need to say. If you need to put a little checklist, some little cheat sheet notes next to the camera, sometimes we'll use one of those 9 by 12 inch dry erase boards. We'll put it right next to the lens, give them some bullet points to jog their memory. So food for thought, right? Let's take a look at another e-card that one of our photographers used and submitted to us. A terrific photographer, Betty Huth, down in Florida, made this eCardPRO for us.
I'm Betty Huth of Huth & Booth Photography. We're a national award-winning photography studio specializing in still photography and video for your business needs.
Isn't that terrific? That follows the same template that Joe used, has a different background, different photos, different video, and that's the magic of the auto editing system. Once you buy the e-kit with the template inside it, you can reuse that template as many times as you like. Now, we take care of the music licensing here, and here's one thing I do need to share with you. That license is good any way you want to use it except for television, right? You can't use it for broadcast TV, and you can't use it for radio either, your radio ad. But after a year, please get back in touch with us because we relicense that. If you want to keep that template past the next year, we're probably going to have better ones coming up soon, right? But if you want to, please get in touch with us and pay us a very nominal fee to go back and pay the music folks. We like to do this the right way, and we think if we're going to be using that template for another year, we should probably pay them again. It'll be about $22, I think is what it is, but it's the right thing to do. Next in the folder, you'll see we'll close up these source files, and you've got sample source files for, of course, A and B and C. We talked earlier about how we're going to convert this into a product that makes some money, right? Let me show you one. Betty Huth made a wonderful sale with a handful of real estate folks, and we've gotten permission to actually show you one of those.
I'm Christopher Jones, the Walker team of Keller Williams. Our team focuses on commercial real estate, beach properties, and high-end residential.
Now that real estate agent is going to use the e-card pretty much the way we do. That's going to be included in the email signature. So what Betty does is she makes a beautiful little footer for their email. So every time he sends an email, it has a little invite to see their e-card. Sweet. And he's going to be able to store this in his phone, and he's going to be able to pop it up on his phone and show it to a customer live. But the real beauty is, because we've converted that video into a URL, he can actually text it or email it to another person's phone. Now, say you're going to buy one of those high-end homes, right? You're looking at better close to $1 million worth of house. You want to really know that real estate agent, right? And you're going to want to have his cell phone number or her cell phone number. So exchanging cell phone numbers is not a problem. Now, depends on what type of clients you have. Some of your clients may not want to exchange their cell phone number to them. So you're going to be able to take that URL and you'll email it to them or speak it to them so they can key it in. Then they'll be able to save it and play it and install it anywhere they want to, including Facebook. That's one of the real beauties of using the eCardPRO delivery system. The other is that we've adopted a rather different way to go. We've decided that we're going to shoot our source files, right? Put them into the templates. Then we're going to send them to mouvoir.com. That's our recommended lab for now. They're going to have the options to deliver that file directly into our Zenfolio gallery if we want. We specify which gallery it goes into, or it's going to go over to the eCardPRO.net delivery service. So there's three components at work here. There's the eTemplate that we photographers are going to fill in content. Then we have to have it converted, all that source file content converted into an eProduct. Then we have to figure out how we're going to share and sell that eProduct too. Well, somebody like the real estate person is going to buy an eCard from Betty Huth. And Betty's going to make these beautiful photos. She's going to use that to sell more prints there too. And finally, when that real estate person gets that eCard file, they need to realize that Betty grants them the first year of eCardPRO delivery service at no charge. It's included in her package, and that's a great way to get people in. You can assign a price of whatever you want to eCardPRO.net. Hop on there, by the way, make an account. You should, if you'd like, make 2 accounts. You make one at movewa.com and make another one at eCardPRO. Those two will talk to each other, by the way, and you'll allow one to use the other. Well, if you were to sell a subscription to eCardPRO.net, and 12 months, let's say, is your time frame, Betty makes that beautiful card, includes the eCard delivery, so they get a nice little URL for that, and that lasts for 12 months. At the end of 11 months, Betty has the opportunity to call that real estate person back and say, hey, remember that really cool eCard that we made for you last year? And they'll go, yeah, we love it. I use it every day. Terrific. The free subscription for eCardPRO is about to expire. So you need to either come on in and get a new eCard made, and then I'll grant you another year, no charge, for the eCard, which is, I don't know, 80, 90 bucks, whatever she charges. Or you can have it renewed for another year, and it's $35 or whatever you want to charge for it to be renewed. Now, the cost of you having an eCardPRO.net account changes on how much you spend. So it's not very expensive at all. And it puts you in control of making the URL, which is really nice too. The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too. Looking to shoot some talking portraiture that looks really good, but it doesn't cost you a ton of money? You're looking to buy your first continuous light that you're going to use for a main light? Well, I've got your main light solutions for both photo and video. I want to make sure that the LED lights and the CFL and the other continuous lights that I buy allow me to set them up to use them as a portrait, still photo portrait, or as a talking portrait using video, just like we are here. I put together a brand new VOD, View on Demand Video, for ShootSmarterUniversity.com called Mainlight Solutions for photo and video photographers that allows you to jump into hybrid with both feet. I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite main lights, from a 2x2 softbox that's powered by a variety of different light sources, to a $52 Home Depot special of some really gorgeous looking light. And I'm going to show you by far the most universal single continuous light source tool you could ever buy, that you can use for a main light, use for a fill light, a hair light, kicker light. Beautiful stuff. I want you to have the info that you need to make the right solution for you. Main Light Solutions, available on ShootSmarterUniversity.com right now. You view it 90 days for only $10. How can you go wrong with that?